Shalom. I want to give all praise and glory unto Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahushai, Ba'ashem, Ha-Rakah, Kodash. Double honors goes out to the elder apostles of Great Millstone for teaching us the truth. Also want to acknowledge and give salutations to all the brothers who are out in the streets of Babylon teaching this truth with sincerity. Okay, so I'm going to start off in Revelation 14. And it talks about, Revelation 14 and 1. It says, "And I looked, and lo, a lamb stood on the Mount Zion, and with him 144,000, having his Father's name written in their foreheads." All right, and so that lamb is Yahushai. All right, it's standing on the Mount Zion, which is, Mount Zion, which is Israel. All right, and then it talks about the elect, the 144,000. Okay, having his Father's name written in their foreheads is the last part of that verse, meaning having this truth. There's only 144,000 men of Israel who are going to, hold this truth. All right. The rest of the nation is not going to conform or, hearken to the truth. All right. 1/3 of the people will hearken, but 144,000 are going to hold the truth 100%. All right. Starting out with the elder apostles of Great Millstone. All right. So quick precepts. We go to Revelation 2 and 6. And it says, let me see. I'm sorry. I meant to go to Psalms 2 and 6. Psalms 2 and 6. We'll start at 1. "Why do the heathen rage and the people imagine a vain thing? The kings of the earth set themselves and the rulers take counsel together against Yahweh and saying his anointed, and against his anointed, saying," and these kings are dealing with are the heathen kings, all right, who are they take counsel against the men of the Lord. And it says, "And against his anointed, saying, let us break their bands asunder." They want to separate us, divide us, and cast away their cords from us. "He that sitteth in the heavens shall laugh. Yahweh shall have them in derision." All right. "Then shall he speak unto them in his wrath, and vex them in his sore displeasure." So Yahweh is going to deal with all these people that come against his 144,000 anointed prophets. Okay, verse 6. "Yet have I set my king upon my holy hill of Zion." All right, and that's his king is Yahushai. All right, so no matter how much these officials, these government, all of these heathen come up against the men of the Lord, Yahushai is still going to have the victory. All right. Go back to Revelation 14. I should say Yahushua and his angels, and also his prophets. Let's see, Revelation 14. And I'm sorry, one more. We're going to do one more precept. Revelation 3 and 12. And it says, "Him that overcometh, I will make a pillar in the temple of my power, and he shall go no more out. And I will write upon him the name of my power, and the name of the city of my power, which is in New Jerusalem, which cometh down out of heaven from my power, and I will write upon him my new name. He that hath an ear, let him hear what the Spirit saith unto the churches." All right. because the spirit of Yahweh is on the 144,000, the men that will overcome, like it says in 12. He says he's going to make him a pillar in the temple of Yahweh. Okay, he's coming against these churches, So we are, we are not on one accord with the churches here in Babylon. No, our message is in fact very, very contrary to the Christianity and the rest of the false doctrines in Babylon, America. Revelation 14 and 1. I'm sorry, we'll go to 2. It says, "And I heard a voice from heaven, as the voice of many waters, and as the voice of a great thunder. And I heard the voice of harpers harping with their harps." All right, and we're going to bring out a quick precept. Revelation 5. We start at 8 and go to 10. Verse 8, Revelation 5. And when he had taken the book, the 4 beasts and the 420 elders fell down before the Lamb, having every one of them harps and golden vials full of odors, which are the prayers of the saints. All right. So those golden vials with odors, an odor is a sweet savor, a sweet smell, which it says at the end, which are the prayers of the saints. All right. So our prayers and our work that we do is like a sweet smell unto Yahweh. All right. When we're doing these videos, when we're out there in the streets, at camp, it's a sweet odor to Yahweh. All right. Verse 9, Revelation 5 and 9. "And they sung a new song, saying, Thou art worthy to take the book and to open the seals thereof, for thou wast slain and hast redeemed us to Yahweh by the blood out of every kindred and tongue and people and nation." All right. Because and let's read number 10. Verse 10, "And hast made us unto our God kings and priests, and we shall reign on the earth." All right, so verse 9, it talks about telling you that, hey, the prophets are going to come out of every kindred, tongue, people, and nation. Meaning, because we were scattered, right? The Israelites have been scattered among every kindred, tongue, people, and nation. You have prophets that are going to speak Spanish. You're going to have prophets that speak every different language, but their bloodline, their seed goes back to Israel, all right? Because as a curse, we were scattered in every nation. So the prophets are going to come out of all the different nations, but you have to understand they are all Israelites, but their citizenship is the different nations, all right? All right, so we'll go back to Revelation 4. And let's go back. Actually, let me explain one more thing on that. Let's see, Revelation 5, 8, 9, and 10. Let's go to 10. Well, no. Let's break down 9. It says, "And they sung a new song, saying, Thou art worthy to take the book and to open the seals thereof." So meaning, this is that new song we're singing. Right? To the world, it's a new doctrine, even though it's always been written. But the reason why it's new is because, well, let's read it. It says, "Thou art worthy to take the book and to open the seals thereof." All right? Because now the prophets in these days, in these last days, we've been found worthy of Yahweh, and he's, removing the seals of the Bible. Remember in Daniel, he said, "Keep the book sealed until the last days." While now the prophets are unveiling. Yahweh is lifting the veil off of our eyes, and we're having greater understanding and knowledge of this Bible. All right, and that's why it says in the book of Daniel, knowledge shall increase in the last days. And why is that? Because the seals are being lifted, all right? We're in that time. And then verse 10, and hast made us unto our power kings and priests, and we shall reign on the earth. All right, so we're literally becoming kings and we are priests. Because remember, Israelite men are supposed to be priests. You're not supposed to be anything else, really, you know. I mean, as long as you have an honorable job, you know, there's nothing wrong with working. But we're still supposed to be priests, meaning we're supposed to know this truth. Revelation 14 and verse 3. It says, and they sung as it were a new song before the throne. So that's what we are doing. We're singing this new song to the earth. It's new. No one ever, you know, in the past in America was taught, hey, you so-called blacks, Native Americans, and so-called Hispanics are the Israelites. No one's ever been taught that the Messiah was, you know, a so-called Negro. No one's even ever been taught that there's only 1/3 of Israel and 144,000 prophets who are going to be chosen, or the elect, to be taken up in those so-called UFOs, the chariots. Right? No one's been taught that. They haven't been teaching that in Catholics, you know, Catholic Church or Christianity. No, it's because those are all deceptions. But we'll read it again at the middle of the verse. It says, and no man could learn that song but the 144,000 which were redeemed from the earth. So it tells you right there, the Bible tells you only 144,000 men who are from Israel are going to, you know, be able to learn that song. And what song? The Bible. Alright? So only 144,000 men of Israel are going to be redeemed by learning and understanding this Bible. Alright? That's what that means. Verse 4. Actually, you know what? Let me go to a quick precept. Revelation 2 and 17 says, he that hath an ear, let him hear what the Spirit saith unto the churches. To him that overcometh will I give to eat of the hidden manna, and will give him a white stone, and in the stone a new name written, which no man knoweth, saving he that receiveth it. Alright, so it's showing you right there that, hey, he's giving this to the men that overcometh, which are those 144,000 prophets, to eat of the hidden manna. What's the hidden manna? It's the understanding of this daily bread, of the scriptures. Okay? And will give him a white stone, it says in verse 17. And white is symbolic for purity, all right? Sanctified. You know, his men, his 144,000, are the only ones who are going to be given this hidden manna, all right, or this white stone, right? Because each one of the men, it represents a stone. That's why we are a temple. You know, let's go to that real quick. Revelation 21 and 3. And I heard a great voice out of heaven saying, behold, the tabernacle of Yahweh is with men, and he will dwell with them, and they shall be his people, and Yahweh himself shall be with them and be their power. So, there you go. That's that stone we represent. And it's a white stone because it's pure. We're purified by this Holy Scriptures. And, you know, the tabernacle is with men, it says. The tabernacle of Yahweh is with men. We just read it. All right? So, each man represents a stone building that tabernacle. It's not a physical church or a physical building. No, the men. Which what men? The 144,000 elect prophets. And then also you have the 1/3 who's going to be saved. But right now we're dealing with the exclusive prophets of Israel. All right. It's an exclusive group, right? So go back to Revelation 14 and we're at verse 4 actually now. You know what's kind of cool that I noticed while I was reading this scripture? This Revelation 14 and 4, if you wrote it down, or wrote that verse down, it would say Revelation 144. And what is that verse talking about? It's talking about the 144. So I just happened to notice it because the Spirit took me tonight to Revelation 14. I kind of scrolled through the Bible, trying to look for a lesson. And the Spirit stopped me here at Revelation 14. And, I thought it was beautiful that Revelation 14:4 is literally dealing with the 144,000. All right. So anyway, here's verse 4. These are they which were not defiled with women, for they are virgins. All right. And when it's talking about women right here, it's not talking about an actual woman. No, it's talking about doctrines. All right. So the 144,000 are not defiled with these doctrines. Okay, it says, for they are virgins, meaning we're virgins as in we're not defiled by a false doctrine. Because even though we were brought up in false doctrines, we didn't hearken to those doctrines, We have always had a zeal for the truth. But before, it was not according to knowledge, It was in darkness. So we are virgins because we didn't basically, if you want to put a parable, what it's talking about, we didn't sleep with a lie, right? We didn't become married or join together with those false doctrines or women, which is the parable they use here. Or I should say Yahweh, not they. These are they which follow the Lamb whithersoever he goeth. So it didn't matter what church we were brought up in as young, children and men, or, whatever the case may be. It didn't matter. We followed the Lamb whithersoever he goeth. So we came out of that madness that we were in. These were redeemed from among men, being the first fruits unto Yahweh and to the Lamb. All right, so, we were redeemed, meaning we're not perfect. We have flesh, we have, skin, which, makes us weak. But hey, there's a group, an exclusive group, the 144,000, who are going to be redeemed, meaning their sins are going to be forgiven. All right. So let's keep reading on. These are they which follow the Lamb whithersoever he goeth. These were redeemed from among men, being the first fruits. Okay, and being the first fruits unto Yahweh and unto the Lamb. All right, and we've went over this before, but the first fruits is dealing, we were there during the creation. All right, with Yahweh and Yahushai. Okay. Let's get the precepts. We'll go to 2 Corinthians 11. And actually, you know what? Before I go there, I want to go to one more. As I had talked about, the men of the truth, the 144,000 men of Israel, they're going to be that remnant that repents and, hearkens, and some of us will teach this truth. So it's, meaning become prophets of Israel, which, a prophet means teacher. So let's go to Hosea 4 and 6. And you know what? No, well, let's bring that out because obviously the Spirit wanted me to bring that out. It says, my people are destroyed for lack of knowledge, because thou hast rejected knowledge. I will also reject thee, that thou shalt be no priest to me, seeing thou hast forgotten the law of Yahweh. I will also forget thy sons. All right, because remember, children in Hebrew would be sons. So right there, the people of Israel are destroyed for a lack of knowledge. They have a compassion, they have a zeal for the truth, but they don't have it according to knowledge. And part of it is because they reject knowledge, okay? So Yahweh says he's going to reject them, meaning 2/3 of our own people have to die by the nuclear fire, all right? While 1/3 and the prophets, the 144,000, are going to be taken up in those chariots. That's true salvation. That's when you know you're saved. When you're on a chariot, then you can say, "Hey, I'm saved." Not while you're a Christian. These Christians, they tell you they were saved in 2005. You know, oh, I saved in July of 2005. No, the true salvation is, well, like I say, when you're on a chariot and you're looking at one of your brothers in the chariot, and then you guys both know, hey, we got saved. From what? From the destruction, the wrath of Yahweh in those chariots. All right, so actually going to pull this out real quick. Revelation 18:4. And it says, and I heard another voice from heaven saying, come out of her, my people, that ye be not partakers of her sins, and that you receive not of her plagues. All right, so Yahweh, the Bible tells you, hey, come out of this these doctrines. The men of Yahweh, like I said earlier, we weren't defiled by women. Excuse me. We weren't defiled by women because even though we were in Christianity and Catholicism and Jehovah's Wickedness, whatever church we were in, we came out of that, right? And so those men that come out of those false doctrines, those women, is the parable for doctrine. That they're going to not, it says right here, that ye be not partakers of her sins. So we literally is the beginning of our redemption when we left those churches and we got the truth and we were like, oh man, this is the truth here. And it made sense. And then, we hearkened. So that means listened. Then after you listen, once you listen, now all of a sudden, you're hooked, you want to learn more and more and more. So that's the beauty of the remnant that repents and comes out of, like in verse 4 here, come out of her, my people, come out of, let's go back to the top because this is talking about America. Verse 3, we'll start. For all nations have drunk of the wine of the wrath of her fornication, meaning America. Every single nation, A couple weeks ago, I was talking to a Moabite woman who is a so-called Chinese, and she was telling me she's Catholic, right? Fulfilling this prophecy right here. Let's read it again. For all, and you have every nationality in Christianity. You have every nationality in Catholicism. And so on, in all those false doctrines, those women. So let's read it. For all nations have drunk of the wine of the wrath of her fornication, and the kings of the earth have committed fornication with her, and the merchants of the earth are waxed rich through the abundance of her delicacies. All right, so America is the land of delicacies and abundance, okay? In verse 4 says, come out of her, my people. All right, so where are we coming out of? We're coming out of all the delicacies, the false doctrines, of Babylon, America. All right. Go back to Revelation 14 and let's see. I'll read 4 again. These are they which were not defiled with women, for they are virgins. So in Yahweh's eyes, we're virgins. Why? Because we came out of those false doctrines. These are they which follow the Lamb whithersoever he goeth. These were redeemed from among men, being the first fruits unto Yahweh and to the Lamb. Right? Being the first fruits, meaning we were at the creation with Yahweh and Yahushai. Verse 5, and in their mouth was found no guile, for they are without fault before the throne of Yahweh. Alright, so no guile means there was no lies in our mouth. There's no tricks. We're not deceiving you. No, we're telling you whether it hurts your feelings or whether it makes you feel good, Just go watch a camp. We don't change for anybody, We don't change for a Christian or an Edomite or a heathen or a two-third. We don't change the words to like the Christian churches. They'll tell you anything to have you come to their church so that you can give them tithes and, they make money. And, a lot of these Christian churches, they'll do a service and, that they may pull out in a whole hour, they may pull out 2 verses, But the rest of it is just, bullshit. It's their own vain opinions, But you see here, we do these lessons and, I've already bred out multiple verses. So that's the difference. There's no guile. There's no trickery. There's no lies coming out of our mouth. We're bringing it out as it is written. All right. So that's verse 5. Let's go get a precept. We'll go to Psalm 32 and 2. It says, blessed is the man unto whom Yahweh imputeth not iniquity, and in whose spirit there is no guile. Okay, so the men of Yahweh, we have no guile or no lies in our spirit. And why is that? Because we read the scriptures. We're not teaching off of our own vain opinions. We're not telling you, oh, I believe this. That's not how we speak. We don't say, oh, I believe. No, we bring out what the Bible says. Because our beliefs don't mean anything. You have men that will talk like that. They'll tell you, I believe this, and I believe in this, and I believe. Well, guess what? We don't give a shit what you believe. We bring it out as it's written from the Bible. If it's in the Bible, we're down with it. If it's not in the Bible, then kick rocks. And that's why there's an exclusive 144,000 men of Israel who are, have the ability to keep it real to the scripture, according to the scripts. Nothing else. All right. So, got one more precept. Zechariah 3. Oh, I'm sorry. Zephaniah. Zephaniah 3:13. It says, the remnant of Israel shall not do iniquity, nor speak lies. What is that remnant? It's those 144,000 who learned the truth. And there's no lies. Why are there no lies? Because we speak the words of Yahweh. We speak his Bible. So his Bible there's no lies in his Bible. Let me start over. Verse 13. Zephaniah 3:13. The remnant of Israel shall not do iniquity nor speak lies. And it's only a remnant because it's only 144,000. Okay, continuing on. Neither shall a deceitful tongue be found in their mouth. For they shall feed and lie down, and none shall make them afraid. Alright? Because that's how powerful this truth is. You know? No one's going to make the men of the Lord afraid because we know the truth. You know? The truth shall set you free. You know, I think that's in John. But basically, hey, there's no lies, there's no deceit, there's no, there's no falsifying when we speak and when we teach. It's all according to the prophecies in the scriptures, and it's going to offend a lot of people. And that's a characteristic of an elect, is if you can receive this whole truth without being offended. The men of Israel, maybe there's something that vexes us, but you're not going to have to twist our arm to believe the truth. And we're not going to argue when the truth comes out. We're going to hearken, listen, and teach according to this truth. All right? So, with that, I do want to give all praise and glory unto Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahushai, Bahashem, HaRakah Kodash. I want to give double honors to the elder apostles of Great Millstone who taught us this truth. And also want to acknowledge and give salutations to all the brethren who are out in the streets of Babylon teaching and prophesying this truth with sincerity. Shalom to the elect.